Welcome to the improvised dinner party. My name is Robin Wicks. I'd like to say hello to my guest, Megan.
Hello, happy to be here.
Hello, no, thank you for coming, Megan. Thank you for coming and joining me on the second of these improvised dinner parties. The idea is for us to have a meal between us that could happen in any time, any place, any when. Any when is the same as any time, but it's two people having a meal, and that's the fundamental thing. So what else could happen? That's what we're going to find out over a 10-minute scene or thereabouts, and then after that we'll have a short chat about improv, how you got into it, where you do it, and anything you'd like to talk about after that. So we have a suggestion, and I'll say the suggestion, then we'll go off camera for a moment, and then we'll come back on, and then we'll start the scene. Okay? Okay. The suggestion is calamari. Calamari. I mean, it's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful what you've done.
Well, Professor Samuel, and I feel like for your retirement dinner, I wanted to thank you properly.
Oh, thank you. I mean, it's a full spread, and at my age, people very rarely cook for me a full spread. I'm in the dinner hall. I'm in the dinner hall at the university, and so often I come up and I say, I would like all three courses, and they say, Professor Samuel, you can't have all three courses.
Well, tonight, my esteemed colleague, you get all three courses and more, anything you want, because I owe my reputation in the field of archaeology to you supporting me.
It is a very fine reputation, I have to say. I am oh my lord, oh my lord, is that what I think it is? Is that squid?
Yes, that is right. And I shall pour you a glass of this Chardonnay, and first we shall cheers to your achievements.
Oh, thank you very much. Chardonnay. That was the name of my first wife, Chardonnay. And I know you knew that, and you included that in the meal, and that just makes me a bit tearful thinking about those. I'm sorry. I'm back here again. I'll cheers.
Cheers, Professor. All these years, I've always referred to you so formally, and since we're moving into the friendship realm, I was wondering if it's okay if I call you Adam.
Adam.
Yes.
Adam. It's been so long since I've heard that word uttered. You know, my second, and Chardonnay was the last one that used it. My second and my third wives would only refer to me as Professor Samuel. I've lived a very distant life these last 30 to 40 years.
Well, some might say that the fact that your first and last name both could be first names might make it seem less formal, but that's besides the point. What I really need to tell you is that you showing me to that secret dig in Eastern Washington years ago that led me to being on the cover of National Geographic. I mean, the fact you did that for me. I was no one, and now I'm someone because of you.
Or someone. You are, Agatha, you are someone. You are someone, and do you know how I know that?
How I've always wondered.
Because I feel like I am becoming no one, and I feel like there is room for one, and it is passing between us. It's passing between us, and I worry, Agatha. You talk about friendship, but I worry that when I retire, when I go to my ivory tower that I have actually built, when I go to that ivory tower, I worry that it won't be a friendship. I worry that you will just leave me in the dust, Agatha.
No. Adam, you always are going to be the true scholar in my mind. And please, though, try the squid before it gets cold.
Oh yes, of course. I can feel the power balance slipping between us. You're commanding me to eat my food, but it is a wonderful spread. It's a wonderful spread.
That was a bit impolite of me. And don't cut it like that. It's not going to taste. Sorry. Oh, my power balance. I'm telling you what to do again.
It's okay. It's okay. It's the way of things. It's the way of things. I'm passing into the shadow. I'm passing into the shadow. That's what it is. That's what's happening. My third wife, God rest her soul, she told me I would pass into the shadow one day. It was a frequent topic of conversation. It's magnificent.
I'm so relieved. I, for so long, have tried to emulate you, and this is just one small gesture of what you mean to me, to enjoy delicious squid. Oh.
Agatha, all these years we've worked together. Even when we were on that dig, you kept yourself separate, and I have no idea what makes you tick as a person.
Well, I'm surprised you haven't figured it out. Power. Power is what makes me tick.
Power. And what would you do with your power?
Well, you see, it's between you and me, it's been a long con. I've put blood, sweat, and tears into becoming the most respected professor of our field. And I feel like today, on the day of your retirement, I am finally growing into the power and recognition I so crave.
Agatha, I can only hope that the power and recognition that you have already gained will bring you happiness.
Can't you see? I'm sensing it's never enough. I thought this would be it. I thought this would be my crowning moment, and yet I just crave more power anywhere I can get it.
Agatha, this is my final lesson to you. I'm sorry, this squid is this squid is very, very nice. I'm finding I shouldn't talk when it's disrespectful of me to talk with my mouth full. But wait a minute. Agatha, one day in the distant future, you will have a meal like this with someone who is going to be taking on your position. And you might on that day look back and think, was it all worth it? Did I really put my energy in the place where I wanted to? Did I really pay attention to the things that I should have done? Because it's empty sitting in an ivory tower sometimes.
I've put everything I can into my profession. And aside from this squid, there's nothing else that I've spent my time focusing upon. And this squid we're eating, I raised it myself in a special tank in my garage. Oh,
You raised it yourself.
yes.
And you killed it yourself.
That's right. Incapus had a good life, but Incapus knew the sole purpose of its creation was to serve you, a meal to share upon my triumph in this field.
Agatha, I can see you have a purity of ambition that I never really had.
What? You never... I thought that you always put the digs first and work first.
I did, but I never really... I should have put it into my family, and I didn't. I mean, that's the thing about, a dig director. I was in my formative years, I was on a dig in Turkey, and we're staying in a place in South Central Anatolia. And I was a young archaeology student. I was very ambitious, much like you were the first time I met you, and still are. And I remember seeing all the older men on the dig were all divorced, and they had a certain way about them. Or one of them was going through a divorce, and I thought, that's not going to happen to me. I'm going to be a success. I'm going to have it all. But I couldn't have it all because I wanted too much. Do you know what I mean?
You seem to be implying that I want too much.
No, I'm really not. I'm saying that you are the person, you want it purely. I always wanted to impress people. I always wanted everyone to follow me, as you have followed me. But I never had the purity that you have, Agatha.
I feel as now the full transfer of power has been completed. And as they say, with great power comes great responsibility.
They do say that. What is the I haven't finished the squid yet. Maybe the people at the dinner hall were right, but what is the dessert? Please unveil the final.
Okay, well. This flan contains sand grains from the first desert we visited on our first dig, and I have let them ferment for years to create this flavorful flan as the final signifier.
Agatha, you have made an old man very, very happy. And if I die while eating this flan, I will die very, very happy. I noticed you're not eating any of the flan.
Yes, I see once again, Professor, your wisdom allows you to see right through me.
The sun. Agatha, I'm seeing it all again.
Yes.
Seeing the dig. I'm seeing it all through your eyes.
Yes.
The ambition, the purity of power. The wonder of what it is that you seek.
Yes.
Thank you for showing me that at the end. Thank you for showing me that. I must have one more bite.
Oh. Oh, I love that you see the beauty in the closure of my plan. Oh.
You could never have risen completely with me in your shadow.
Oh, that's right. There is only one way. Oh, some people say power corrupts, and I agree.
In some small way, I feel like this final lesson makes us friends.
Yes. Oh, I feel drunk with power. Everything is as it should be. Oh, what a beautiful passage. Oh, well, good night and farewell.
And scene. Thank you very much, Megan. If you'd like to come back up.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for murdering me with Flan. Was,
Oh,
and by strange coincidence, when I did a random food search, and calamari came up, and on the same page was Farm. So that was very eerie. Thank you very much for that. Oh, yeah, great. If you, yeah, thank you again. Megan, you are in Seattle in the United States, I believe. And I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about why you got started in improv and how you got started in improv.
I started improv because I heard it was beneficial for professional development, and I found that that was true. And I also fell in love with improv, and it became my favorite hobby.
Cool. What did you start at a certain school, or did you start by seeing a show, or what was the first kind of trigger?
I started taking classes at Jet City, and what's so cool now is I'm an instructor at Jet City Improv in Seattle. I would have never guessed. Yes.
So what classes do you teach at Jet City?
Yes, coming up soon, I am teaching a class for women, and then I'm also going to be teaching an Improv 101 series.
Oh, that's great. So if people just Google Jet City Improv, that would be the sharpest way to do it, wouldn't it?
Yes, exactly.
Oh, cool. Okay. What is the focus of the class that is for women? Is it just purely to have women doing it on together, or what would be good?
Yes, yeah. The purpose is to build some community with women who are into improv.
Cool, great. So what else is about? Do Jet City do shows and things like that as well?
Yes, so at Jet City, we're just starting to ramp back up in person, which is exciting.
Do you have a space for that at the moment, for the performance space?
That's what we're working on. We have a temporary space, and we're looking for a new space because our theater closed permanently during the pandemic. So we're in a bit of a transition.
Oh, cool. Well, I hope you find something solid soon. What other do you do other improv in Seattle? Do you say improv or impro? Actually, I'm curious.
In Seattle, we would say improv.
Okay. Are there people that say impro as well, or is it purely improv?
In Seattle, everyone says improv.
Okay.
How do you pronounce it?
Well, I don't know, because because at the moment I'm on the south coast in the UK in Worthing, which is near Brighton, which has got quite a lot of improv in it. But normally I'm in London, and you get improv and you get impro. Like there's a company called Hoopla, which is Hoopla Impro, and there's a building called the Miller where they do shows, and it says Hoopla down one side, it says impro very definedly down the other side, and there is no V.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. It's a very clear line in the sand, I've always thought. But there are other places that say improv, and I don't know. I've always said improv because I don't know. Even though the first reason I got into improv was seeing a show and then reading Keith Johnston's Impro, and even though the first classes I took at a place called the Spontaneity Shop, they always said Impro. I think just lean towards improv for some reason.
Okay.
I don't know. I just like the completeness of the word impro. Just feels like a little bit open to me, and I don't know. And I associate it with game, not game of the scene, but sort of game-based improv, like sort of theatre sports teams and things. I've associated with that, and that's not a bad thing. That's just the association I have. I think short form games are wonderful for training, and I don't want to get into that rabbit hole. Anyway, so what other places would there be for people to do improv in Seattle if they wanted to come and do improv in Seattle?
In Seattle, there's also Unexpected Productions, and they have some fun drop-in classes too, and anyone can show up for duo night that would like to perform at their theater, and you can show up solo or with a partner and you get stage time.
That's really cool.
Yes.
That's wonderful to have that duo space like that and have that as a regular thing as well. A question I had about Jet City, actually. Is there a character to the type of improv you put on, you would say? Or what would be how would you characterize it?
Yes, Jet City tends to be narrative-based improv. And there is a collection of the short form games and then also longer form games. And Jet City is also really into musical improv and improvised musicals.
Oh, cool. Do you do those as well?
Yes, and I highly recommend to anyone, even if like me, singing is not your place to shine, it's still really fun to do musical improv.
No, I completely agree. I have done enough musical improv to know that it is not my, as you say, my place to shine. But I really, what little I've done of it, it kind of opens you out, or less that's how I felt about it anyway, kind of emotionally, and and in terms of big offers, I think it's definitely a great place for big offers. I suppose the only other question I have, is there anything you'd like to plug going forward? I mean, we've mentioned the classes, which I think is a great thing, but anything else you'd like to plug that you're involved in?
Well, it's pretty specific to people in Seattle, but also at Jet City, I do lead some of the dojo classes, which is drop-in Monday night improv in Seattle. So if anyone is there, let me know.
Cool. Okay. So, like dojo, like a sort of way. Oh, I like that. Yeah, because it's got a lot in common with martial arts, hasn't it? I've heard that analogy before with improv and martial arts. Yeah. Okay. Well, I thank you very much again, Megan, for taking part. This has been the Improvised Dinner Party. There will be more, and I am very much enjoying doing them, and I'm very grateful to Megan for coming and joining me. Thank you very much to everyone for watching as well. Bye-bye.